SR22, I didn't like it at first, and I like it now. I don't like the little decocker safety. Other than that, it's pretty cool. I just pretty much bypass that. Okay, I wanted to get a holster for my SR22. And I ended up going with Fobus because I looked at some different ones, and they don't have a whole bunch of holsters, but I want something outside waistband for the range to practice loading and dropping and all that, and something real, just real convenient. So I went with outside waistband. I would not carry this thing. A lot of people want to carry their 22 LRs. More power to them. It's just a round that I don't trust. Even though you can trust your gun, the ammo you get might be faulty. So I ended up going with Fobus. They're actually from Israel. And I originally looked on eBay, and they had a combo pack with the mag pouches and the holster. And I would have saved $5-10, $5 to $8 probably. But it would have took 3 weeks from Israel. So I went on Amazon and got them separate. I got this first, came in the mail, and then this came. These both came very tight. This one came so tight you can put the gun in, but you can't get it out. It has a little indent here, and it is really tight. And I didn't want to sand on it on the inside because these will wear in. And I had this all the way loose. And I show a little bit. I used a heat gun, and I used some cellophane. Right now I have a kind of a piece of t-shirt that I used to clean. That's how tight it is, but I have the t-shirt in there. Just, I use my heat gun with that in there. Now I can tension it how I want it. It's perfect right now, but I can tighten it a little bit. So that's where I wanted it. I basically got 2 fingers on this thing pulling it, and that's how I want it. Okay, I'm not going to carry with this thing. This is just for range fun, basically, and practice. And it's very nice because it reaches perfectly with this side I got on there. I got a couple videos on this thing if you want to check it out, but I got that dot on there, and it does not touch at all. With the cover, it barely touches it. But so there I go on that. Very nice, works perfect. And yesterday I just got this pouch, and it was kind of the same thing. It was very tight. So what I did is I wrapped it with cellophane and hit it with a heat gun, and then left it in overnight. So it's probably going to be a little loose when I pull this cellophane off. See if I can find the tail on this thing. And yeah, it's probably going to be a little loose, but it will tighten up, I'm sure, as I go outside. I did a video on these +5 wingmans too. Check it out because I had to do some tailoring to them from TANDEMKROSS. I have a video on this, a little install and a little of the tailoring I had to do. So there you go. Much looser, but still some tension. Okay, so nice. Very, very good setup here. I'll probably lose the Fobus thing with a little heat gun, and this little sticker will come right off just because I'm not Mr. Logo. But so cool. Just a heads up on that. I'll loosen them up a little bit with a heat gun. And then what I did is I got them warm with my heat gun, and then I put the cellophane and I put them in, left it overnight. Then this morning, I just now pulled those off, and they're perfect. And it might tighten back up. It's liable to. But now I can tension this if I need to. You know, you got to be careful with the heat gun with Kydex because you can tweak it. I literally, on one of the guns I had to open it up because I put a big old muzzle brake on it. On an HK I had 45, and I heated it up enough to where I actually changed the configuration of it. I think I have a video on that, or I might have dropped that, I'm not sure. But anyway, this thing is safety check. There's no ammo anywhere around this thing, just so you know. Now on the back to TANDEMKROSS on these plus 5s, which makes these 15 round mags, which is really cool. It really is. Pick them up. I did a video to where I did a wasted range trip, because I had to take these back home and tailor them before they could be used. They were hanging up. But once I did this tailor little trick to it, I have not had one hiccup with these, honestly. So they are extremely reliable now, more than ever. So, and I'm talking bulk ammo, okay? Bulk ammo, this feeds great. The Burple, I call it Burple because it's like a purple box. But I want to give a shout out. I haven't done a video on this yet, but a shout out on the mag loader, speed loader they got. tandem cross. I did pick up an extra mag too. This is preloaded. I do that to stretch the mags, stretch the springs basically. So I've got a total of 3 now. But I wanted to do a quick shout out with Tandem Cross came out with this new style, and it reminds me of the Apula. Okay, so how you want to use this is you go like an arrow. See, I got a 45 kick that way and a 45 on this. And I'm still getting used to this, but it's kind of this idea. And you feed them right in. Okay, let me get a handful of these out here. And there's going to be, that looks like about 15. But here's the idea of this thing, okay? I use my thumb and just push it like that. And when you get tension on it with your thumb, lift it, pull. And this is cat's ass. I really like it. I really do. And, you know, even I had my gloves on the other day, and I was able to pull this off. The hardest part I have is picking up the 22 LR with my stiff fingers. Honestly. Just pulling them up off the rug like that. But there you go, man. You're going to have 15 rounds. By using these wingmans, you are going to lose the little ear on the side, the little feeding ear. I'll show you here in a minute what I'm talking about if you're not picking up what I'm laying down. But not a big deal. So I would recommend that's 15 rounds. Okay, so you lose the ear here. This one still has the ear because it's the 10 rounder. That's the ear I'm talking about right there. So you will lose that. And I have a good install video on this thing. And I don't want to piss nobody off at YouTube or whatever, so I'm going to remove the gun from the table because I have full mags. I don't want to lose my channel for doing something like that. So back to this. You know, that was so easy. And there's the air. I call it an arrow because you got a 45, 45. You know, 15 rounds. I have not had a hiccup. I shit you not. It does not come with any springs or anything. It just comes with this. I believe it's a a little two-piece gizzy here, here, that you put together. And Tandem Cross has a video out as well on the Wingman, and that's what I went by. By doing that, I screwed myself out of a range trip. I drove an hour to the range, and went by their video, installed them, went to the range, and hang up every second round. And I called them from the range, and I said, hey, these things are hanging up. It sucks. I'm pissed. And he said, oh, did you read the directions? And I says, no, I went by your video. There's 15 rounds, just like that. I went by your video, and he said, oh, well, if you go down, if you drop down, I guess to where it says issues or whatever on the instructions, then it'll tell you need to tailor them. And I said, okay. And I went home and I went right to it and kind of figured what he explained to me. There's 2 legs you got to tailor and whatnot. I got a video on it. And I don't think they have a video on it. They do have a picture, and I didn't know it. I went ahead and did what I thought, what he explained. And then I went back to the email and I realized I did a drop down and there was an attached picture and it shows what to do. And I was very close to what they're telling you to do. So I lucked out in that sense and did what they were saying. And it's reliable as heck now. So I highly recommend the +5 Wingmans, but you do have to tailor them. Or if you go to order them, leave a note saying, tailor these before you ship them to me, because they all should be tailored. They're not cheap, but they're not expensive either. I think they're 25 bucks and they give you 2. They will not sell them separate because I just tried to pick up just a single one for this. They come in a pair. I understand. That's totally fine. So, +5, thumbs up. The Fobus setup, I really like it. Recommend. And this speed loader, especially if you do the +5 Wingmans, I would highly recommend this because you don't have your ear to play with anymore, so you'll have to feed it by tensioner. Now I noticed some of these Ruger mags, 2 of them now. This one I picked up separate. It is a little harder to feed. It clicks right in here, and I'm not going to mess with it because I want it to wear in. If I go bending it, if you bend it too much, you're screwed. You know how that goes. Or if you sand it, you just don't want to do that. So I'm going to keep going. One of these, when I bought this thing new, one was hanging up, one was feeding perfect. As far as, I mean hanging up, feeding them physically, not in the gun. They both fired the same. We're pretty good, but you know, they recommend, you watch a lot of videos and everybody's saying CCI. These days with ammo, whatever ammo you're lucky enough to get, you better hope it feeds in your gun, because you can have thousands of rounds of ammo, and if it doesn't feed in your vehicles, you're screwed. So anyway, just a heads up on that, and I like this Fobus setup as well. I did just insert it into this, and it is tight as heck. This is completely backed off to where it's literally finger tight, okay? And then you have your groove here. It is really cold out. It's probably about 30 degrees out. Just came in the mail off the truck, Amazon. So I'm going to try to stretch it a little bit. Not too much, but I do have a retention here. I'd rather it be a little loose, and I have to tension it to keep it taut. But right now, I put it in there. I can't pull it out. I do believe it's this little trigger groove. For the trigger groove right here, it's probably hitting. So not a big deal. If I mar this up a little bit, whatnot, it does fit with my optic, which is kind of nice. And but I'm going to show you how tight this is. It goes in, and then it goes past this trigger guard, and it snaps in, and you can't get it out without really forcing it. Being it's a paddle style holster, that is not a good thing. So it needs to be a little looser. And like I say, this screw is completely backed out basically. So okay, so this has been in the holster all night. I basically, instead of wrapping the whole thing, I just did the trigger guard here where it actually hits this little divot. No sanding, nothing, just left her loose. But you can see that before I did this, this was tight as could be. So, still tight, right? But now, I have an option of tensioning it. That's what I wanted. I want to be able to put it where I want it. Now I'll give it a couple cranks down, and it'll be right where I need it to be. So, pretty cool. And like I said, this optic fits perfect on here. This particular optic. You get anything longer, it will bump it, but I am at a perfect spacing right there. So this is the holster for this gun, if you're not going concealed carry, of course. And really liking these Wingman Plus 5s. Okay, down here at the range, I'll load these mags up real quick here with my Speedy mag loader. And I just did a video on my Nomad 1022. I got a UTG circle dot I found for it, which is really light and low profile. I'll be doing a video after this one on that, little review. But for now, I want to check out these holsters that I got for the gun and the mag pouches. So we'll see how we do on those. And I think I got them loose enough. That's 10 on that, 15 on this. And it really helps to have a nice flat surface. I got the ribs of my tailgate here. But this is the way to go. My thumb is actually a little sore from loading that BX25 on the Nomad. So this is a lifesaver, this thing here. I don't know if they got a meg loader for those. I don't think they do with that big old 1022 box on there. But 15 in each one of these is going to be a total of 40. So that's pretty cool. 40 rounds of reliable 22 LR. Very nice. But this little mag loader is the cat's ass. It really is. I think I got one more. Let me see here. No, that's 15. Okay. That. One more. And you get your little technique down on these. And I might be doing it different than other people do it, but this works for me. Feeding them in there. It's actually New Year's Day today. And a balmy 54 degrees. It went from 30 yesterday to 54 today. So I figured I got to get out here, man, and have some fun and bring in the new year and shoot away all those devil dogs from hell from 2020. That was just a nightmare. I just had to put my Doberman down as well. 12 years, and he was the best buddy ever. Really good dog. But okay, so got the mag pouches. Got the holster. I do like the paddle style. Let me set this up over here. And okay, so got my holster on. Mag pouch holster here. 15, 15, and 10. Comes out nice and smooth. Got my dot on. 10. And that's it. So, very nice. It's right where I want that thing. And these are nice and slick too, so good deal.